Errol Spence says that Shawn Porter has to wait. He got bigger fish to fry, and that's not his priority. He got to wait for a rematch. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also, subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. If you want to become part of the gang, notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the super chats, channel donations, the Venmo donations, the Cash App, and the Patreon family. We work. Now head over to Patreon right now. Link is in the description. There's a section for the affiliate links. Click on that link. Head over to Patreon. I'm shifting some of the content over to Patreon so they can enjoy it, as well as the YouTube channel members. For that, you just hit the join button. Two great options, ways to help support the channel and show your pledge. Another great way to support the channel is to click the link in the description box. Again, there's an affiliate link section in the description box of all my videos, and click the ESPN Plus link if you're interested in getting the ESPN Plus bundle. This includes ESPN Plus, Hulu, and Disney Plus. You get all three apps, one price, $12.99. Right now, a lot of people are stuck at home, quarantine. It's a great option for you to get some more content. ESPN Plus has a ton of docu-series, documentaries. Normally they have live sporting. However, with the pandemic, they don't have any live events except for the UFC pay-per-views coming up and some other things. Disney Plus has a ton of stuff, TV shows. Hulu has you covered. Great option, supports the channel, and also gives you an insane catalog for your viewing pleasure. Now, Errol the Truth Spence Jr., he has recently stated that Shawn Porter must wait. Shawn Porter has called for a rematch, and Errol Spence says that's not what he's checking for next. He explains why. I'm going to read a direct quote from Errol Spence and then kind of give some of my thoughts. Errol Spence says, "I know Shawn Porter, he called for the rematch, but unfortunately, that's going to have to wait. Man down. You know I've got a lot of bigger fish to fry. You got guys like MANNY Pacquiao that I've been, trying to fight. He's the cash cow right now. He's the cash cow, so that's definitely a guy that I want." So he says Shawn Porter gotta wait. Now, Shawn Porter, he recently went on his Instagram live and he says, quote, "I thought I beat Errol Spence. When I heard split decision, I thought it was gonna be a split draw. I really did think I beat him. I know I gave him a boxing lesson, and if a rematch is there for me, I would love to do it." So, it sounds like that's kind of what Errol Spence is responding to. Errol Spence is saying, however, that Shawn Porter is gonna have to wait because Errol Spence is, been there, done that kind of attitude, and Errol Spence is after the bigger paychecks and the bigger events, things like that. Now, I don't mind personally Errol Spence versus Shawn Porter because I was at that, and that was actually the fight of the year. So the two have already proven that they can put on such an event, and a worthy event. A lot of people thought Shawn Porter was gonna get steamrolled and gave him no chance. Obviously I'm not radical like that, so I knew Shawn Porter had a chance to make it hard. You got to look at just the pedigree and the history. Shawn Porter's experience. He has a rough and tumble style, and you can't name one person that has really had an easy time and an easy night with him. All of Shawn Porter's losses are all respected. The Kell Brook loss, like, it wasn't like he just got mowed down and knocked out or anything. You look at his performance with Keith Thurman, definitely gave Keith Thurman a run for his money, took Keith Thurman's best shots, some hard shots, showed he has a chin. He hurt Keith Thurman to the body, in my opinion, in that fight, stuff like that. So he's always giving people a tough fight. And then there are some guys that he kind of like steamrolled, like Paulie Malignaggi comes to mind. You also have the fight with Devin Alexander. He just kind of bombarded these guys. Andre Berto, the Danny Garcia fight was close. I gotta watch that again. I covered that fight from New York, but I thought Danny Garcia edged it, but it was kind of a hard fight to score. I'm gonna have to watch that one again. But all in all, Shawn Porter, that's his MO. He's in shape, has heart, has chin, has amateur and pro pedigree, great resume, and has some pop, and he stays in your chest. So you're gonna have to do the right things to keep him off you. So me personally, I think it's a good fight, Errol Spence versus Shawn Porter. However, I can understand from a physicality perspective why Errol Spence would be looking for other options, because once again, Shawn Porter is always in a dangerous and tough fight. Like Errol Spence, I seen him getting tired. I was at that fight, I covered that fight as media as well, and Errol Spence was getting tired in there because Shawn Porter just he got a gas tank, and his battery just boom 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 boom. He was charged up. So Errol Spence, he got past it. It was close. He was able to score a knockdown, which could have been the difference maker that swayed some of the judges to him. So I don't know that Errol Spence wants to go through that. I'm not saying Errol Spence is scary or anything like that, but what I'm saying is, would you rather fight a bigger event and big money fight? Whether you condone this or not, I'm just telling you, I can understand. Shawn Porter is not a style that I can imagine a lot of guys are like, hey, let's do that again. That was fun. You see what I'm saying? So Errol Spence, he could fight Terrence Crawford, he could fight Danny Garcia, and he could fight Manny Pacquiao, which would all be probably bigger events, or at least the same stratosphere of event numbers, ticket sales, and significant paychecks either way. Plus those styles he probably feels he meshes well with. Again, Shawn Porter has almost an ugly style if you're going against him. You got to deal with whatever. Sometimes headbutts, a guy who won't stop. It's a real pesky style because it's 0 to 100, and then you got to stay at that 100 miles per hour. You see what I'm saying? Unless you could discourage him. But so far, Keith Thurman, guys like Danny Garcia, Errol Spence, nobody has been able to just get Shawn Porter and all the way tame him. You know what I mean? So I can understand that from Errol wanting to go for the bigger fights. But I would like to see that fight at some point if Shawn Porter continues to, win and be a relevant party in the welterweight division. I would like to see it. If Errol's not, if he's looking at other options, I would like to see maybe even a Shawn Porter Ugas rematch, because that one was a little bit that's the guy that comes to mind about the kind of tamed him. But I think Ugas didn't do himself any favors. He was boxing very well, but there were little spots where he was kind of dry in the beginning, and I think that had he done a little bit more, he definitely would have, no question, won the fight. I still think he won, but it was close. And I do think, but on the contrary, in Ugas's defense, I think there was a knockdown and he didn't get credit for it. But I think Shawn Porter, I forgot, but his glove touched or something, and I think that should have been called a knockdown. So that's a good fight as well. Ugas is relevant. He called out Pacquiao and Crawford and stuff like that, but I don't know if those fights will be made off rip. Guess we have to wait and see. Let me know what you guys think. Errol Spence says he has bigger fish to fry before rematching Shawn Porter. That's not his highest priority. Let me know if you agree with this, and what'd you think of Shawn Porter versus Errol Spence? Me personally, I thought it was a terrific fight. From pillar to post, it was work. Errol Spence had to dog it out, and I think part of it was Errol Spence underestimated Shawn Porter. Well, Errol Spence admitted on the same podcast where he said this, he admitted that on the Showtime podcast that he had ballooned up to 190 pounds before this fight. So that's not good. So I think Errol was, after the Mikey fight or whatever, he maybe got a little bit of an ego where he was feeling himself, no pun intended. He was feeling himself, and I think he underrated Shawn Porter's skill. You got to look at it. Just because a guy doesn't fight fundamental or a traditional style or what you consider pretty, it don't matter because this is boxing. They're there to take your head off and try to get the victory. So their skills come in different form. Sometimes a guy will be offensive, and that could be a skill in itself if no one could get past the offense. Like, let's say Deontay Wilder. People are saying, oh, he has no skill, but if he was knocking out everybody, then obviously he's able to get that right hand off in 40 plus fights. So that in itself is a skill. It reminds me of a Lil Wayne lyric where he's talking about the Chicago Bulls, Steve Cartwright. He said, I'm awkward like Cartwright, fuck with a nigga, shot ugly but my arch right, come on dog, bark, bite, fork in the road, I'm always going right. He says, I'm awkward like Cartwright, fuck with a nigga, shot ugly but my arch right. It don't matter if the shot ugly if you sinking them shots when it counts. You see what I'm saying? And I think that's the same for the world of boxing. You could be like, oh, Emmanuel Augustus, he's not doing things by the book. Roy Jones, he's not doing things by the book. Prince Nassim is not doing things by the book. But guess what? It works for them. Deal with it. So that's my 2 cents. Let me know what you guys think. Drop your thoughts in that comment section. I need to hear this. Shawn Porter versus Errol Spence. Are you done with it? Or do you agree? And would you rather see other fights before this fight? Or would you be open to an immediate rematch or, a rematch? I think Shawn Porter, he deserves big fights. He's risked it all, and, I think he's deserving of a big fight. So based on his performance, he definitely earned an Errol Spence rematch, in my opinion. But the powers that be, the politics, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Head over to Patreon, hit the join button, become a YouTube channel member, check out some of my other videos, subscribe, all that good stuff. Also, sign up for ESPN Plus, the bundle. We working. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.